All right, today we're going to talk about players to avoid in auction drafts for 2024. We each got two guys here, I think. I'm just at their current pricing, it's just not somebody I'm going to have on my teams, and I just don't want on my teams for this price. So we got two guys each. Jeff, who you got? Who's your number one, or whatever order they're in?
Yeah, no particular order for me, but I think the first guy I'm going to stay away from, and I know this one might be a little bit of a hot take. I don't trust that he can stay healthy, and I feel like it's too much of lightning in a bottle, and I need to see more, and I know that he is going to be priced at the very tippy top because of what his potential is, and that's going to be Devon Achane. Look, he is an unbelievable running back. He's a great prospect. The games he played in last year, he was unbelievable. I think Mostert still has some gas left in the tank. I think he is actually going to be good value. I think they'll be able to throw the ball. I think Achane will probably have some really good games, but I think overall, I think that money, because right now he's going for, he was like the 13th running back off the board, and I think he's going to continue to go up. I think it's too rich for my blood for someone that I don't think is going to be a consistent producer on my team. So it's not one where I think he's going to be a bum or anything like that. I don't think he is going to get me to where I want to go, and I think he's going to be overpriced. So that's why I'm staying away from him. I know that might be a little bit of a the people will say he's too good to stay away from. I'm okay with them taking the risk. I think the risk is too great.
I'm with you. He looked awesome early last year, and then he got hurt. After he came back from the injury, he wasn't as amazing as he was early on, right? But people all remember that early season. People love this guy. But the knock on him coming in the league was is he big enough to withstand NFL workload? And guess what? He got hurt right away. Like, we still don't know if he can. He's 5'9", like 180, 188. It's a small guy. Can he get a full workload? I don't know. I'm with you though. I don't want to take that chance. So my first one, I'm going to go Travis Kelce. And I was on the Travis Kelce thing last year when he was still playing well. But I was just like the gap. I just felt at that time that he wasn't the name recognition of Travis Kelce at that time was beyond what his ability was anymore. And you could get way more for him. And he actually fell off further than I even thought he would. But it's kind of funny because it seems like no one remembered that. Mm-hmm. And right now on ESPN, Travis Kelce is the number one tight end off the board at $28. $28. Why are we paying this for Travis Kelce? Because I think, you know what happened was he did well in the AFC Championship and the Super Bowl. He played well again in those games, right? But look at weeks 8 on last year. He was not good. 6 for 58, 3 for 14, 7 for 44, 6 for 91, 4 for 81, 6 for 83, 5 for 28, 5 for 44, 3 for 16, 1 touchdown in the entire span. And we're paying $28. Again, I'm going to even say Travis Kelce might end up as the number one tight end at the end of the year. But there's not that gap. That gap is gone where he's 20. So he's not. Laporta is also going for 28. So there is two guys at the top, right? But then there is a massive gap down to $13 Andrews and then all single digit players after that. You tell me, man, $28 for a guy who is he going to be 35 years old? He's going to be 35 years old during the season and had a massive fall off last year. No, never going to do it. I'm not going to do it. $28, not going to do it.
No, I agree with you. I mean, even to the point, I like Laporta. I have a hard time spending that much money
I can't do it on
Laporta, and we're Detroit fans. I mean, but I agree with you. I think Kelce, name recognition right now is what's carrying him, and what, you have Mahomes. It sounds really good. Mm-hmm. I think that there is much better value lower on, and if you go for that value lower on, you're going to be saving like $18, $20.
Oh yeah, 100%.
I mean, it's too much money to give up. I would rather take the risk and go for a lower name guy, which we'll get into in other episodes. But I think that is a great place to save value.
All right, who's your second guy?
There was two guys that I wasn't sure which one I'm going to go for. I think I'm going to rip the Band-Aid off, and this is this is once again, maybe a hot take. I don't know, but I love him. I think he might be the most talented wide receiver, but I'm going to stay away from Justin Jefferson this year. I'm not trusting him for 1 year because I want to make sure that QB situation is what you're going to get. Right now, he's still the 4th wide receiver coming off of injury. You probably are going to have JJ throwing to him. I'm not saying that he's going to have no production or anything this year. I'm saying he's not going to be worth the 4th wide receiver money, especially when it's not that far off from the other guys. I would rather go out and get someone I can count on for either less money like an AJ Brown, or I might as well pony up a few extra dollars and get, a Chase or something of that nature. I just think he's stuck in a middle ground where I don't trust the value fully. And look, like I said, it has nothing to do with his talent level. He's amazing. I think eventually he will be amazing again, but injury, young QB. I mean, I still think they're going to try to force feed him the ball, but I don't think it's going to pay off the same. And you have a couple of other mouths that you have to feed. What if the quarterback really gets into sync with Hawkinson or wide receiver number 2? That absolutely could. They're both really good pass catchers. So
yep.
I just can't wrap my head around spending over $50 for Justin Jefferson this year.
Yeah, there's some risk there. You don't know if it's McCarthy or Darnold. Who knows? You don't know. Who knows?
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. Even Darnold scares me more.
Yeah. Who knows? I get it. 100% get that one.
Yeah. And once again, nothing to do with the player. Don't come after me about that. It's not the talent level.
Yep. So my second guy, it's gonna be Kyren Williams, and
you're gonna get the most hits.
Probably. People like Kyren Williams. I get it. He was really good last year. I can't even look at his numbers from last year and be like, yep. No, look at this. This is why. I can't even really do that because he had a really good year. He's going for $43 right now. I just don't believe it. I don't buy it. I don't believe him. He was a average prospect coming out of college. Nothing that great. He really started to get a lot of carries. Like at the end of the year last year, he had so many carries and he did really well with them, but 5 straight games of over 20 carries, that's a lot. And I can't see that happening again. He had like Ronnie Rivers and Royce Freeman backing him up. Of course he's going to get up the ball all the time. Now he has Blake Corum backing him up. A very pro-ready guy. Blake Corum is just ready for the pros and is a better prospect coming out of college than Kyren Williams was. And this is the same coaching staff that had Todd Gurley and signed him to a big contract, and he ran him into the ground. I don't think they want to do that again. I think this is going to be way more split than people think. And I also just don't think Kyren Williams is an amazing player. I think he had a very good year. I don't think he's a special talent. I truly don't. And Blake Corum, I don't think he's that much worse. I think this is going to be way more split than you think. And I'm not going to spend $43 on Kyren Williams because of it. I think there's too many question marks. I have a hard time with players that weren't great prospects and have a big blow up year. I've seen it a lot, and I just have a hard time buying in. I'm telling you, this isn't a player I'm avoiding, but it's the same team. Puka, who led me to a title last year. I have a hard time believing it yet too. I have a hard time believing average lower tier prospects blowing up in a year. I need to see it more from them. It's just a thing. It's always been that way. When a top guy does it, all right, that's what he was meant to do. When it's a guy no one expected to do it, I'm like, let's see this one more time. How many running backs have we seen this with? Blow up year, never hear from him again. Yeah,
running backs, this happens to with a lot more, right? And injuries and all of that. I'm already pretty careful with what kind of money I would give to top guys, and make no mistake, Kyren is going to be a top 10 guys as far as auction value goes. I'm with you as well. I know you're going to get hate for that one. And maybe it's because like you, I do actually believe in Blake Corum, and I think that the NFL is going into a place where unless you're a unique special talent and usually a pretty big back, you do not get the bell cow role. And I do not see Kyren Williams as that. And I don't think that's a bad thing. I think that is going to prolong his career. I think you're going to see a drop off in his production because his touchdowns were nasty last year. I mean, he was good. He was really good. But I think that was a unique situation that helped him kind of thrive. And I'm with you. I'm staying away from him. And I'm because I don't know if we're going to talk about this again, but I will throw in one additional one because I don't think it's a big deal. I'm also staying away from Lamar Jackson this year as well.
Yeah.
He's ranked as the 4th QB. I had him last year. I love Lamar. But the thing for me is, hey, he ended up being the 4th best quarterback in fantasy last year. And before that, he was outside the top 10 for the 3 years previous. Look, he can blow up, but even more so, I would be paying where like the top of where he's going to end up. And on top of that, right. I'm pretty over just the up and down. I had like 5 weeks in a row where he was getting me like 11 to 12 points. And he will have the blow up games that'll win you a few weeks, but I that is so hard to take for QB. Roller coaster, yeah, especially when I have to pay for it. Like, no, thank you. So that would be my other one that I don't think anyone's going to argue too hard against. But
all right, there we go. Players we're avoiding this year because of their price. Talk to you guys next time.